Hello, hello. I'm back. My sister Lisa asked me one more time to read a couple stories to you out of the Tall Book of Make-Believe. This was my husband's childhood book from his grandparents. Some of these stories are mighty weird, but let's start with one and see what we think. First one is called The Duel by Eugene Field. The gingham dog and the calico cat side by side on the table sat. 'Twas 12:30, and what do you think? Nor one nor t'other had slept a wink. The old Dutch clock and the Chinese plate appeared to know as sure as fate there was going to be a terrible spat. I wasn't there, I simply state. What was told to me by the Chinese plate? The gingham dog went bow wow wow, and the calico cat replied meow. The air was littered an air or so with bits of gingham and calico, while the old Dutch clock in the chimney place up with its hands before its face, for it always directed a family row. Now mind you, I'm only telling you what the old Dutch clock declared. The Chinese plate looked very blue and wailed, "Oh dear, what shall we do?" But the gingham dog and the calico cat wallowed this way and tumbled that, employing every tooth and claw in the awfulest way you ever saw. And oh, how the gingham and calico flew. Don't fancy I exaggerate. I got my news from the Chinese plate. Next morning, where the two had sat, they found no trace of dog or cat. And some folks think unto this day that burglars stole the pair away. But the truth about the cat and pup is this: they ate each other up. Now what do you really think of that? The old Dutch clock, it told me so, and that is how I came to know. That's kind of a funny story. Let's try one more. Let's read What Would I Do by Dorothy Aldous. If one day my nurse should say, just before my lunch or tea, "Oh, yesterday quite by mistake, I gave your mug and plate away," it would not trouble me. And I know where I'd eat off a stone, a nice and flat and smooth white stone. I'd eat off that and drink from harebells. I guess 20 filled with milk would be plenty. And if one night my mother said, just before the lights were lit, "Oh, yesterday, quite by mistake, I gave away your little bed," I would be glad of it. And I know where I'd sleep, up in the hay, where it's nice and warm. Twice last year some kittens were born, and that's where I'd sleep, in that sweet and musty hay, and get my hair all dusty. Another goofy story, but still good nonetheless. These are from the 40s. I want to say peace out, and thanks for joining us.